The year was 2007. In Zurich, three giants, Kaká, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Lionel Messi, stood on stage. But for many, Didier Drogba deserved to be there, maybe even at the very top. Drogba's season was magnificent. He led Chelsea with power and grace, scoring crucial goals in finals and carrying his team. He won the Premier League Golden Boot and scored the winning goal in the FA Cup final at Wembley, a historic moment. Drogba was the big player for big games, always stepping up when Chelsea needed him. He was the complete striker, strong, technically gifted, and unplayable at his best. Yet, when the Ballon d'Or votes were counted, he finished fourth. For African football, it felt like a robbery. How could a player who dominated the toughest league and won major trophies be overlooked? Was it because he wasn't from Europe or South America? Was the narrative already set? Drogba's story highlights the struggle African players face, a glass ceiling at the highest individual level. He's a legend, but his Ballon d'Or snub is a reminder of the mountain African players must climb. The path is steeper and rockier for them. This isn't just about one player, it's a pattern that needs to be understood. Until it's broken, the best from Africa will always have to do more to be seen as equals. Drogba's near miss is a symbol of that ongoing fight. The Ballon d'Or, Golden Ball in French, is football's most prestigious individual honor. Created by France Football in 1956, it was originally only for European players in Europe. Legends like Pelé and Maradona were never eligible, showing the award's early limitations. This European focus shaped the mindset around who could be considered the world's best. In 1995, the rules changed. Any player at a European club could win. That year, George Weah of Liberia became the first and only African winner. It felt like a new era, but since then, the award has been dominated by Europeans and South Americans. In 2007, eligibility expanded to players worldwide, but the focus stayed on Europe's top leagues. The Ballon d'Or's history is one of slow evolution, but its European-centric legacy still shapes who gets recognized. Media coverage, voter habits, and old biases linger. The Golden Trophy remains elusive for many deserving players outside the traditional powerhouses. The system's roots still cast a long shadow. Football is global, but Europe is the center of attention. The biggest clubs, TV deals, and media platforms are all there. Playing for Real Madrid, Barcelona, or Manchester United means constant worldwide exposure. This visibility builds a player's brand and keeps them in voters' minds. South American stars benefit by moving to Europe early, quickly becoming global icons. There's a long tradition of South American success in Europe, fueling expectations. African players, even at top clubs, often get less individual praise. They're seen as key team players, not always as the main stars. Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah won everything with Liverpool, but still finished behind others in Ballon d'Or voting. It's not about talent, it's about perception and media focus. European media creates the heroes, and voters are influenced by what they see and hear. The narrative favors those already in the spotlight. Beyond media, African players face subtle barriers, stereotypes. They're often described as strong or fast, but rarely as tactically brilliant or creative. This limited view ignores the intelligence and skill of players like JJ Okocha or Abedi Pele. Language shapes perception. European players are praised for vision, Africans for work rate. The genius wins the Ballon d'Or. The workhorse is overlooked. The timing of the Africa Cup of Nations held mid-European season can hurt African players' reputations. Instead of being celebrated for national pride, they're sometimes criticized for leaving their clubs. Missing a month can make them less visible when votes are cast. The Ballon d'Or's history of exclusion created a system slow to recognize global talent. Even with global voting, old habits persist. The image of a typical winner is still shaped by the past. These invisible barriers are real and hard to break. Many African legends have come close to the Ballon d'Or. After George Weah's win, Samuel Eto'o starred for Barcelona's treble-winning team in 2009, scoring in the Champions League final, yet finished only fifth. Yaya Touré dominated at Manchester City, scoring 20 goals from midfield in 2013-14, but never made the top three. Sadio Mane, in 2019, won the Champions League, shared the Premier League Golden Boot, and led Senegal to the AFCON final. Still, he finished fourth. Even Lionel Messi said Mane deserved more recognition. Mohamed Salah has also had Ballon d'Or-worthy seasons, but the pattern repeats. These players have won everything at club level, but individual recognition lags behind. It's not about talent or success. They've reached the top. The gap between achievement and recognition is persistent. For an African player to win, they must be so far ahead it's impossible to ignore. Each near miss is a painful reminder of the extra hurdles they face. The message excellence isn't enough. You have to be extraordinary. The bar is set higher, and that needs to change. So how do we level the playing field? The media must move beyond stereotypes and highlight African players' intelligence, leadership, and skill. More in-depth stories and fair analysis can reshape perceptions. The voting process should encourage voters to watch more football outside Europe's top leagues and value international tournaments like AFCON. Criteria should emphasize both club and country achievements. African federations and media must promote their stars globally, building their brands and telling their stories. Players themselves can use their platforms to challenge narratives and inspire change. Legends like Eto'o and Drogba speaking out can shift opinions. It will take a collective effort, media, organizers, federations, and players, to break old biases. Only then will the next African Ballon d'Or winner not have to wait decades. Despite the challenges, the future of African football is golden. Talent is emerging everywhere. Young African stars are making huge impacts in every major European league. These are not just role players, they're leaders and match winners. African academies are improving, producing players who are more prepared and confident than ever. The pipeline of world-class talent is only getting stronger. Today's young players are inspired by legends like Drogba and Maine, but they're determined to write their own history. They arrive in Europe with ambition and belief. They want to be the best. The story of African football is one of resilience, talent, and passion. The day will come when another African lifts the Ballon d'Or. When it happens, it will be a victory for the whole continent. The kings of Africa have always had the talent to rule football. The future isn't just bright, it's golden, and the world will finally have to take notice.